right, welcome to the Corona Chronicles, episode number 16. I'm your co-host, Jay Reason, with the one and only Danny Diablo.
Check. What's up, everybody? What's up?
Yo, E, what's happening, man? You're changing location for us today, right? You're joining us from the secret spot in Milwaukee, right?
Force 5 headquarters. I just came back from the studio right now. We're recording. We're finishing, actually.
We're going to get into that.
The Scarhead Generations of Violence EP.
Yeah, I was actually just going to get into that with you. Let's just announce it here. You were just wrapping up the last session with the one and only who, right before we jumped on?
Travie McCoy.
Hell yeah. Sick. So, shout out, Travie. So, E, with that said, you're pretty much finishing up the EP, and then it's a wrap to get this thing out, right?
Yeah, tomorrow, basically, Travie's in the studio right now. Well, this is crazy. We did a online engineer thing. My engineer goes online like a Zoom thing, but it's not Zoom, but it's for recording, and they both talk, and they do the session like that.
That's sick.
Travie recorded his whole album like that, his new album, we recorded like that, so we just did it right now. So I was there, I told him what to do, he's killing it, and basically, I left before he did his verse, so I was like, yo, Terry, I said, you do whatever you want to do, B. You know what I mean? And, yo, he was so happy to do some hard stuff. He did some hip-hop stuff, but he did some hardcore punk stuff. It was just cool to see Travie because he's a hardcore kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Graffiti kid, so always got mad love for Travie. Always, like, people don't know how you know, that, me, him, Stress, Walk, Cool, and basically, like, I've been in the Cookie Jar video with him. He's the dude's a Grammy Award-winning fucking artist and put Bruno Mars on, really. You know what I mean? Like, think about it, the first song.
Yep.
So, thank you to Travie, bro. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, that's so sick. So, we'll have more details, obviously, on that EP as things progress. But as you guys have heard, Danny has finally put the finishing touches on this thing, wrapped up the guest spots. So, yeah, you're going to hear about all the details, pre-orders, all that stuff after. E, we did want to shout out some kind of sad news from last week. There was a loss in the scene, a big loss. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that with Rob from Black Train Jack.
Oh, God. I just want to say that Rob Vitale from Black Train Jack was the coolest guy in the world. He, like, for going to shows. So when I moved out to Long Island, I used to see him a lot a few years ago, and one of the best voices in the hardcore scene. Black Train Jack and Nine Lives were great bands, but he had a great heart. He's a great person, funny guy. I'm gonna miss. I was just talking to Joe Garces from Ice Cold Killers. Shout out to Ice Cold Killers. That was his best friend. You mean, like, he's the one that told me, but me and him were just like, we would, whenever I saw Rob and St. Zach, people always think, like, how do these guys know each other? But when I used to see him, the second we see him, we just start talking shit about everybody. We'd be like, yo, he's just sweet. I would like, yo, so nice guy, but he can have the most evilest venom from his mouth. Like, so we would be hanging out right in front of these shows and be like, yo, his band sucks. We would just make fun of someone, and the guy would come up to us, hey guys, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. And
he leaves us like, your fucking band sucks. Yo, me and that guy used to destroy everybody. But I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that part of it because it was so fun hanging out with him, and we're like, yo, let's talk some shit, and we just go crazy. Okay?
Yeah, that's
like,
fucking.
Rob was a stand-up guy, a great friend.
Yeah,
cool guy. He has so many people that loved him. But I know him through the hardcore scene, and seeing hardcore scene, but his friends, he has some good friends out there, especially in Long Island, that are gonna miss him.
Yeah, it's a huge talent for the scene to loss. I never met Rob, but Yvonne reminded me that when we went to go do backup vocals on Stretch Armstrong's record in New Jersey way back, that Rob was there and that we interacted with him. So, just shout out, man. Super sad loss on that.
He should. Like, all these, like, you see these scumbags living, and then Rob, a nice guy. Like it's sad. The scene has lost a lot. Steve Pass, Todd Youth. I mean, like just staples in the scene passing away. I guess that it's just sad, man. Rob should be here right now, man. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, especially during the past year and change.
Yeah, fuck this COVID shit.
Seems like there's been a lot of shit. But on a positive note, the first New York hardcore show is back that they announced. April 24th.
Listen, I hope it goes good. Everyone just be no haters, please. Just let the show go on. And if you really don't want to go, it bothers you so much, then don't go to the show.
And listen, this show is not for that. We're here to support, and we want to promote the show. So I want to make sure that everybody knows about this shit. It's going to
go
be
down to 24th Thompson Square Park.
April 24th at Thompson Square Park. We got the one and only
24th.
Madball, Murphy's Law, Blood
Murphy's
Law. The doors are going to be at noon. It's a $20 donation, so please donate. Also today, the guys at B&B Productions have launched a GoFundMe to help the costs of this show because it is outdoors. There's a lot of shit, so if you guys have some money, please go there. You'll see all that shit on our screen. If I can find somebody to run the shop, I myself am going to be there. I cannot fucking wait.
Listen, I will be there. So everyone, I'll be there with the Danny Diablo merch table. So wherever, bring your mask and come up with your money.
Well, we'll be selling custom masks, right? So that's the whole thing. So you just tell me we can make some cool stuff.
Danny Diablo mask.
I'm excited, man. Honestly, to see all of the shows being announced right now and all of this shit. The day before the New York City show, Madball is playing Rhode Island with our friends Death Before Dishonor as well, and that show sold out in under a couple minutes, man. I tried to get tickets and it was sold out, so I'm really excited for those guys. It's cool to see the energy coming back. I can't wait to see Scarhead and Danny Diablo shows back in the mix.
I might go to Rhode Island also with my traveling merch table.
Stop by the store on your way through.
Hell yeah!
Do a quick pop up. You know what I wanted to ask you about because I know that you saw it and we've been talking about it. Godzilla vs Kong. I know you finally saw. How dope.
Listen, I want to tell you to all the haters out there.
Why there's haters of that shit?
There's haters out there. People look old. I'm a big Godzilla.
Me too. Yeah, we've talked about that.
But I tell you right now, we all know that this movie was amazing. Listen, when King Kong vs Godzilla, the first one, it went in Japan, and there's two different endings, whatever. And I always thought Godzilla busting his ass until the electricity came, and that was it. Godzilla, I'm gonna rule for you. Godzilla busting his ass. I don't care. But Kong redeemed himself by helping him out. That's what I'm saying. But Godzilla,
when he was
smackdown,
when he was crushing his chest,
I did that to so many people. The face of defeat.
That was one movie that I legit fucking can't wait to see on a big screen or whatever. The theaters here are kind of back opened up. Gotta try to figure something out, man.
I gotta believe Alexandra, but she watched it because she hates all that stuff. She watched it. I was like, baby, you gotta watch this. I said, you're gonna love this because Kong's face is. She's like, oh my god, he's walking like a man. She loves Kong.
Oh no, Viv gave she wouldn't watch it, so I watched it with my dad. He was psyched. We've seen all of them together, so he was excited to see it. Yeah, no, the effects were sick, man, and like I said, I hope they keep doing more with those in that MonsterVerse movie, man. I want to see more of those movies.
They have to. They have to get Gamera up in this.
I want to see them all.
I want to see Gamera.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, all of them are sick as fuck. But so I hope that they keep doing that. On the topic of just watching shit, checking shit out. I know you've been busy before. Oh, what you got?
DMX, rest in peace.
Oh my god, how are we gonna skip that? We almost fucking forgot. So yeah, a couple days ago.
That fucking hurt. How fucked up is that?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Obviously, I'm not gonna act like I was some huge fan. I celebrated the hits, but yeah, man, huge surprise. I mean, I wasn't keeping up with him or whatever, but yeah, huge surprise there. And again, man, huge loss of talent to the hip hop community, man, for sure. I mean, I celebrated his early records.
It hurt me, Jay, because you know, I was down for, you know, the Chaos 13 with Gris for Rough Riders.
Right.
And I met DMX like 3 times. It was always mad cool, show me respect, man. And it's funny, all the hardcore kids used to call me the Tupac of hardcore or the DMX of hardcore. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I was like, thanks a lot, guys, but, but
yeah, that's sad, man, and it's
sad. But he one of the best, and he, you know, there will never be another DMX.
Yeah, no, it was. We went back at the shop, and we were listening to some of the hits, and yeah, man, I mean, the guy's flow was sick as fuck, and at the time when he came out, dude, there was no one else with a delivery like that. Almost kind of like I don't want to say hardcore because that gives the wrong thing, but you know what I'm saying? He was definitely more like a aggressive delivery, you know, in hip hop at the time, where there wasn't really like a lot of that when he came out, which was sick. And his videos and
he was dope.
Yeah, he was dope. What have you been listening to? Check it out. I know you've been wrapping up your stuff up, but have you been listening to anything outside of watching Godzilla Kong? You've been watching anything? I know we always like to see what's good in the world.
Yeah, well, hold on 2 seconds. 2
Yep.
seconds. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Here goes. I've been.
Wait, I lost your. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I've been listening to. I've been listening to DMX ever since he died. Every fucking song. I've been watching City on the Hill.
Okay.
City Block, the one with Kevin Bacon in it.
I don't know that one.
It's about Boston in like 89, 90.
It's good?
It's about, yo, Kevin Bacon is so ill in the series. Well, he's an FBI agent. And he's fucking bad. It takes place in Roxbury, Southie, all Boston. It's crazy. It's like, it shows Boston. You know what I mean? So, at first I was like, and then I was like, all my favorite actors in it. It's amazing.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out, man.
City on the Hill. City on the Hill.
I haven't really been checking out too much, man. I've been super busy, but I did get a promo of this new record from a band called Minefield on Bullet Tooth. The name of the record is called Seclusion of Sanity. This shit is heavy thrash. It's coming out on Bullet Tooth on June 25th. So I want you guys to check that out. Yeah, I think you'd really like this. Yeah, I got an advanced listen of it, and man, this record is really good shit. So I'm gonna have a cover of that. But outside of that, man, haven't really been doing much. You know, just been rocking the store, working with you on getting some more episodes done, getting some content done. Yeah, we're working it, man. So that's about it. Shout out to Sound Talent Media for again bringing on the Diablos. Then we're excited.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you, Tim Bora. I'm actually tomorrow. I'm finishing the gang vocals for Scarhead, but I'm recording the Big Left album. I'm executive producer of this album on Force 5 Records.
Yep, yeah, we've plugged that record a bunch here, and the fact that you've signed him, so we can't wait to have more news on that one, especially people who have followed Big Left early on in your career, because he's been around for a minute. Well, even prior to that, you know, I mean, I first know him when you and Josta started working with
Ill Rock.
With Ill Rock, yeah.
He was the first artist signed to Ill Rock.
Right, and that's how I remember him, so that's awesome. But we have a great episode for you today. The first guest we have coming on is fucking legendary vocalist, one of the first N.Y.H.C bands to kind of take it to the next level outside of AF and those guys. So we're really excited. We're gonna have Kohler from Sick of It All on. So give me a minute and let me get them set up. Hang on.
Definitely, brother.
One of my favorite hardcore vocalists. Had the opportunity to tour with these guys in Europe. One of my favorite bands. Dude, I'm so stoked to welcome Kohler from Sick of It All to the show.
What's up?
What's up, Lou? How are you, man? Good to see you.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Hanging out.
What's up, Lou, brother? How you been?
What's up? How you
First
been?
of all, Lou, I want to say, thank you so much for fucking doing this. Everyone, I tell everyone, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be in music. That's the first thing. So, you started this. You created this monster. So, I want to say also that condolences to your mother. Rest in peace. Bro.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I know it's hard, bro.
It was. Yeah, it's rough. It's been a rough year, you know. Yeah, I mean, we got the Corona shit. That was rough, and then, my mom, she had bone cancer, so she was on all these treatments for like gave her like seriously extra 3 years of life. But the last year, she said to us, she goes, "It's not living." You know, she goes for a treatment, sick for 3 days, better for 1 day, sick for another 3 days, back for another treatment. So, you know, she was better off now. I spent the last month before she passed away flying down and helping my dad and my older brother. We took care of her. Oh man, it was rough. But you know, thank God. I mean, I'm sad she's gone, but you know, she's much better off. Much better.
Yeah, no, that's at least you spent the last few days with her. You know,
yeah, and she passed away. The whole family was there. Everybody, my daughter, that's Pete, amazing. And his daughter, my brother. So we were all, you know,
God bless.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
let's get.
Sorry to hear about that. Yeah. No. So Lou, I mean, obviously you guys are one of the most active bands in hardcore and just touring wise, man. Man, what is the fuck? What COVID must have fucked up so many things. I know you guys had a big tour planned with AF, and do you want to get into this a little bit with us, man, about everything
it's right at the beginning, right before COVID hit. We were supposed to go to South America 2 days before the tour. I wake up with 104 fever. I go to the doctor and they say it's the flu. It's just the plain old flu. Yeah. But I had to cancel the tour. And then a few days when we would have been in Brazil, that's when they shut everything down. So we would have been shut down in Brazil if I wasn't sick and we went. So, but so that tour was done. Then, you know, back then everybody's like, give it a couple of months. And it was, they kept pushing tours back. They kept saying all the festivals were going. Then it was all canceled. I think it's really hard, not just financially, but more of a mental stress. Like some days I wake up, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know, I have shit to do, but I'm just like, I don't know what to do. You know,
right?
I want to get ready for tour. I want to do this.
Yeah. It's like a whole year, like, and it's a whole year. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And then it was like, I just like, it was me and my lady the whole time. It actually brought me and my lady so much closer.
That's good,
cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And then I was like doing the art and music out there, and I was just kept myself busy. And I was like, yo, I'm not stopping. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
You can't let this fucking thing like boss you around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta live your life, bro. You know
exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's we did a whole bunch of right away. We did, I think it was 6 videos. We recorded separately in our houses. I mean, that was fun. It was great. But it's people were saying, "Hey, do more," and I was like writing back, like, not to be a dick, but those shits ain't free to make. You know?
Well, that's how these people are. You know that. They know how these kids are.
I mean, but no, it's cool. People were like, "We'll donate," but I feel weird. It's like, you know, if we were going to continue to do that, we would like, okay, do whatever, a Kickstarter, Patreon, whatever those things are. But then people started taking off different directions. Like, I don't know what Armand and Craig got into. Pete had to start working. Yeah. You know, I've been, like I said, I was with my mom, and then you know, taking care of my daughter most of the time. And but Pete's been, since Pete started working, like he goes out and busts his ass, like, you know, roofing and all that shit. Yeah. Motherfucker goes home and writes like crazy. He sent me, Armand and Craig, like 18 fucking songs already. And I can't even keep up. I'm like writing to one. He's got like 10 more coming down the pipe. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, all I have to know is like when I worked construction, but I haven't worked construction 4 months, but I work construction, and when I work construction, all I have to say is like, I fucking hate my life.
That's the piece.
Yeah, I'm like
it fuels the fire, man.
My back is going out. I'm like, no, I just want to go on tour. You know, it's just like, yeah. God.
That's exactly what Pete said. Like that's why he's writing so much, because he goes, yeah. He goes, work sucks. I hate it. He'll be out in the boiling sun in Florida, like, you know, roofing or ripping up weeds or whatever the hell he has to do that day. And then he's like, yeah, but I'm coming up with some fucking angry music. So.
Yeah. Something need a catalyst to fucking ignite that shit, and that's what
happened. Yeah. Well, going back to like in the late 90s, where we were like making tons of money overseas, you know, I'd start feeling like we'd go to write for an album, like, I don't know what to write about. And I was like, you know what? I'd get up at like 7 a.m., walk to Flushing Main Street, get on the 7 train, and be like, fuck, this is why I don't fucking I got to go home and write a record because I can't do it.
I like the fact. I like when that happens to me. I'll go on the 7 train, whatever, and I'll be on the train, and a kid bumps into me like, "Holy shit!" And they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Yo, I got more problems than you do, bro. Believe me." I'm just trying to live.
You guys were actually supposed to be doing a tour together too.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. Crown of Thorns is going to come with us in AF.
Yeah, so that
was push it back to next year, right? Next April, they said.
Hopefully.
Well, I always said that we got the New York hardcore curse, so it's like, yeah, we're gonna do it, biggest tour. Like the 3 bands that AF, Sickle, and Crown Thorns gonna go together in the United States. People were like, yeah, also, yeah, maybe.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. We were looking forward to it. It's great, But then, like when it first started, they kept saying, push it back a few months, then a few months, and then it was next year. Sucks.
Yeah, that was sucks, especially because I as a fan, man, was looking forward to that show. I did get to see AF and Sick of It All did the Burroughs tour. I got to go to a couple of those, and those were fucking awesome. Yeah. So it would have been great to see a tour. But like Ezek said, hopefully we will get to see that happen. Lou, one of the cool things though that did come out right at the beginning of the pandemic was you did get a book out with your brother, which was super cool. I opened a record shop here in Connecticut, and we carried a couple copies. We sold out of them. Tell me a little bit about the process with that, man. It's called The Blood and the Sweat. It's a really good read, man. Tell me a little bit about how that came together and how you guys did that.
You guys sat down and just like kept on.
It's funny is I didn't even think of anything like that. Me, I'm like sitting there going like, man, I hope Jimmy writes a book. Murphy's Law stories are insane. From the day Craig joined Sick of It All, he would entertain us. Like we do those first 2 European tours. We would drive for 10 hours overnight in a van, and he would sit there and tell us AF stories, and we would be crying, and we would tell him, write a book. He never wrote a book. He should write a book about his whole career.
Listen, his book
the AF stories that Craig has are amazing. But anyway, I didn't think we should write a book. But then Howie approached us. He said, I want to do a book about Sick of It All, but the publishers want a new angle. So they said, how about the brother angle? And I was like, yeah, but we're all 4. We've been together for 30-something years. We're like a family, blah. But so they focused mainly on me and Pete growing up in Queens. And then, Armine and Craig are, of course, in there, and Richie, our old bass player. But the process was weird. It was just like we did I think 2 or 3 sit-downs with Howie for like 2 or 3 hours just bullshitting. Yeah. And then we did a series of phone calls. And then he would be like, okay, on Scratch the Surface, what do you remember about writing it? What do you remember about recording, touring, blah, blah, blah. And then he'd do that for every album. And then he'd ask us for anecdotes and shit in between. So
yeah, it was a really cool read, man. Again, as a fan, I thought it was really well done, man. And I encourage anyone who has not picked up a copy to do so, man, because it's a really easy read too. You don't have to read it all the way through. You can kind of just pick it up in parts.
It's like a long. It's like a long. Each chapter is like a little interview. It's not like a narrated by it doesn't say it's not focused on me speaking, and then it's just both of us bullshitting.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Imagine Craig's book.
Well, that's what I said. There should be an Armine and Craig book where we get to chime in too. Pete came up with a great concept. Pete said Craig's book should be this. They should be Craig tells his story on one page, and then the other people tell what really happened on the next page. Every story should be
that's fucking amazing.
That would be a great idea for a fanzine too. Maybe, and then turn that into a book. Just do a couple of things with that. Craig does tell some of the best stories. We had him on, and we had him on in one of the earlier episodes, man. And it was I couldn't even keep it together. He was just making me crack up with.
Him and Armine together, it's amazing.
Armine's like a different person. He drinks beer.
He's been like Craig calls him, a beer drunk for the last 10 years?
It's crazy, right?
I think it's great. He became a beer snob. Along with his people. Their pizza snob stuff too.
Oh, Maury's. I'm like, oh, stop that.
It's the funniest thing is they were telling me about. I know you guys probably have a Maury's every time one of these idiots is on, but they were telling me that, oh, you got to try this. Did you ever eat a Maury's? It's fucking great. And they're blabbing away about it. I'm like, I don't remember an Maury's in Queens. And then one day they showed me a picture. I go, motherfucker, I used to work right near there. And every Thursday we'd cash our check and eat at a Maury's. I go, it's all right. It's Queens Pizza. It's not. And they thought you think I spit in the guy's mother's face. Yo, Maury's.
They're crazy.
I went there. On the way back, I kept saying it tastes just like Pizza Garden, and no, it doesn't. They freak out. But I stopped there when I went out to Rob Black Train Jack's funeral. Rest in peace. But on the way back, I haven't been to Queens in 4 years. So I just drove through the old neighborhood. Wow, it got way more crowded. It's like Astoria now. There's no parking anywhere.
It's so crazy, bro.
Everybody's got fucking driveways. Nobody uses them. I stopped, instead of going to Pizza Garden, I went to a Maury's, and it was good. But I'm like, I didn't have to drive here for this. I could have fucking stopped along the way anywhere and got it. But don't say, oh, Jay's gonna cry. Craig's gonna tell me you don't know pizza.
I always tell them Danny's Pizzeria in Kew Gardens way better. They go crazy on me. Every time I go to Maury's, I go even when I was with Craig one time, I went there, and when I go there, there's always Queens Task Force detectives always behind me.
Well, yeah.
Oh, staring at me. I'm like, the cops don't go there. They all stare me down. I look at them it's like neutral territory for us. Oh man.
Yeah, I used to work right near there. We'd go every Thursday for 2 years. I was like, man, I was eating this shit in 1988. What the fuck, you guys? Now all of a sudden in the 2000s, you guys are all the Maury's, you know?
The bowling alley was there.
Yeah. The bowling alley, yeah.
Yo, listen, Lou. What year did the band get together? Start.
We officially say it's 86, but it was probably late 85, whatever. We would just hang out in my basement when my parents would go on vacation, even when they were home. But when my parents were on vacation, we'd invite, because Armine and them had Straight Ahead and Rest in Pieces, and they'd come over and we had equipment in the basement. We just jam like crazy.
That's awesome.
Loud, insane, stupid, make the dumb songs on the spot. And then it just went from there, So we officially say 86, because that was the year before. I think that was the year we recorded the demo, and then we did the 7-inch in 87.
Yeah, that 7-inch changed my fucking life.
Yeah, that 7 inches. Lou, how did you guys connect with? Sorry, Lou, how did you guys connect with Jordan at Rev with at the time from the demo and stuff? How did that come together?
That was easy because they had asked us. We did our own demo, and they asked us to be on the comp, first the 7-inch comp, and then the Hardcore the Way It Is, or whatever comp. So we did that, and as soon as we gave them those songs, I remember it was outside the Anthrax. Jordan and Ray came up and they go hey, we want to do a 7-inch with you guys. And I was like, all right. We didn't know it. That was it. They wanted to do our album too, but they were busy with Gorilla Biscuits, and we were itching to do an album. And then that's when Howie and Steve Martin started In Effect, and we did that.
Yeah, and it's cool, man. Because I'm sure you guys didn't think at the time, looking back, how those songs would resonate. I mean, I briefly mentioned this, man. We got to my old band, The Distance, got to go to Europe with you guys, Persistence Tour in 06, and watching those songs performed, then it still resonates, man. What's that like for you? It must just be sick. I mean, the crowd reaction for those songs is so awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever we do a U.S. tour, Pete's always we got to put in a lot more old stuff because in Europe they buy everything no matter how long your career is, and they love as long as it's good, they're
they'll follow you through.
Audience, as long as we don't oh, here's our ska album, So, but here in the States, we could, not to brag or anything, but I think we did better records. From 2006 on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's classics. We have classic songs and some, Just Look Around, Scratch. They're all great records, classics. But I think we did just as good, if not better, from 2006 to today.
Totally.
I mean, I think our last album, some of the shit Craig wrote, and Craig and All-Might wrote some of the best hardcore we've done in years.
Yeah, we plugged that record we plugged the Dragon record a couple times when it came out, man. I love too. You briefly talked about doing those videos, and again, man, just as a fan, man, watching you guys still do shit and not rely on kind of the same old shit. It's so cool.
It's crazy. This is what people always say. I'm gonna break people. People get mad what I'm gonna say right now, but this has those. People always like, oh, this band. Well, who's better? But this band, it's like better. It's like it's cool. Some of these bands, dudes have 2 records. They got 1 good record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tour that record, whatever. But you guys, the Nazi Front, Madball,
Come on, that Rev Up record. Fucking, when Rev Up came out, I was sitting there going, right away, I fucking call up people like, we gotta fucking be good on this next record. You hear Rev Up? That's how it is. It's not like we have to copy this band, you know?
Friendly competition also is like.
It gets me psyched. Like,
well, and as for like a fan of all of your guys' bands, it's cool for me because it pushes for better recordings and more content, so you're getting more songs out and stuff.
Production-wise,
the production on the last record for you guys was sick. Again, I have always commented that one of my favorite things on Sick of It All, like outside of your vocal tone, is how Craig's bass sounds and just how everything always comes together, man. And it's just, man.
It's funny. We don't think of ourselves as musicians or whatever. And I remember throughout his career, people go up to Craig. I remember being at a festival and a bass player at Anthrax walked up to us, and he's like, he knew Craig from childhood. And he's like, what the fuck do you use? He goes, not just live, but on your last record. And Craig's like, Craig tells him, like, don't tell that motherfucker. And then, like, even big band, like the guys in Rise Against, the bass player Rise Against, he goes, I go in, I say, get me he starts every album with his bass tracks. He goes, I get a Craig sound, and we build off of that because, they're more melodic, but he goes, I want that sound. Craig has the sound. I mean, even those videos we did in the basement, it's the first thing on all the comments. Oh, Craig's sound. And Armand, too. The Igor from Sepultura and several other, like, big metal drummers would come and stand behind him. And I remember watching this, and I forget what festival it was, but it was like Igor and some other metal drummer. And they're just looking at each other and they're shaking their heads. And at the end of the set, I go, what do you think he said? They go, he's a fucking machine. And they love it. So he's not technical. Armand's a guitar player. He took drums up to play in straight ahead. He just opened up.
He hits hard, bro.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
he's dope. He's dope, man.
I'll go see a band and I'm like, I love it, and the drums sound great. And I look at the drummer, like all laid back, like, it might be brutal music, but it's like that. I gotta see the guy killing those drums.
It's so weird too when I see certain drummers. Like when I see Mackie play, it's like you gotta watch him play.
Yeah, he's fun to watch
it's
play.
But
like
he's like a jockey.
Yeah, he's like.
But I gotta say, man, watching Sick of It All, dude, all 4 of you guys on stage is probably fucking one of the best live shows you could see, man. Like,
you guys listen,
dude, a small venue or a fucking huge thing. Like I said, man, I saw you guys saw you guys on the Borough tour, and lucky enough to do Europe with you guys, and it was just like the way you guys command that stage each time, dude. So sick, man. And like
for one guitar player, for Pete. Listen, for Pete. Listen, people like that. People say so. Pete is going from beginning to end. He's not stopping.
Yeah, that guy's crazy.
He's like a Drano. He's fucking ping-ponging off the things.
It's funny because we always talk about, for decades we've been talking about, we should get a second guitar player just to hold it down. And Pete's like, nah, man, just somebody else to get in my way. And Craig's like, I don't want to split the money 5 ways.
No, he has his own style. Like I always said that, like when I want to see a band live, that's how you know a band's dope when it's dope live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I see like you guys, this is crazy. I would say that people will be like, "What? You guys and Biohazard seen live?" But like,
I'm gonna drop some. The first time we met the Biohazard guys, we were playing a club in New Jersey called Murphy's Law. They were driving home from some show, and they came to our show and they asked, "Hey, can we play a set?" And they played. They fucking didn't move an inch. You can ask Billy, you can ask Bob, they're like, you know, cool. I like Biohazard.
Yeah.
After they saw us, they motherfuckers were flying all over that stage.
Well,
Yo,
it's
that
good
tour-
for that. And
that
they,
tour-
yeah.
that tour we did, it was so crazy to see like Bobby, Hamill, and Pete.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great fucking.
It was crazy, bro.
That was a great tour.
crazy. Think about that history right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, sick of it all has influenced so many. I mean, things. Even just thinking about things like the Dragon logo with them going back with the Mobb Deep thing. It's just like the influence of sick of it all has run so deep, man. It's cool to watch. Really quick, talking about the production and just records and all that stuff. Lou, one of my favorite Sick of It All records, and I've asked Craig about this record, and I asked Armand when we had him up. Recording Built to Last with Garth, man. Like, what was that like? Only because do you have a good memory of that doing that record or?
I didn't. I think it came out a little too clean, but it was good for the time. I didn't have a good experience with Garth. I thought I might be remembering it wrong, but I thought he was just like a typical producer where the engineer did 99% of the work, and at the end of the day, he would walk in and be like, "Nah, let's do this," and then he would do drum edits. I'm like, "What do you mean drum edits?" He would take all of like the best tracks of Armand and cut it up to one song, and I didn't like it like that. I liked, we worked with Steve Evans after that.
Steve Evans is man, dude.
Who's the guy you did in Switzerland, Sweden?
True.
Oh, two. Madsen. He did from 2006 on. He produced and mixed Death to Tyrants, based on a true story, and I think he did when we were doing the EP for the 30-year anniversary. He also did the the non-stop where we re-recorded shit. That was fun. We did that at his house in Denmark. It was so much fucking fun.
Oh, the production on Non-Stop is so awesome, man. I love that you guys re-recorded those.
He had in his house, he had a built-in pool in the house, but he had it drained and it had a drum set, and he goes, "That's where you go, Armand." So I had to climb into this deep ass pool, and he just flashed through the song. It was great. But two did and when we did the 30-year anniversary EP, when the smoke clears, he goes, "It's going to cost way too much for me to fly there, you to fly here." He goes, "Jerry Farley has been our engineer from Based on a True Story on." I don't know if he worked on Death to Tyrants. I don't think he did. But Jerry Farley, so Tua goes, "Jerry knows my style. He's got my all my settings programmed in his computer." He goes, "Let Jerry do the production there. I'll do the mix." And now it's been like that since. Jerry's our producer, and he fucking, especially the last album, he killed it. He killed it on
That's good.
And then but we always let two mix. That's what two is known for. He gets called from like Ozzy and Judas Priest or whoever to mix their albums.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he did a great job as our producer, but I love the combo now of him and Jerry. It's fucking killer.
Yeah, especially the production on the last one was really thick. It sounds fucking huge.
I want to ask you a question right now. So this is crazy. What, you know how listen, like when you play, you tour, and they, what did they want? Like some people want, but what is your favorite album?
My favorite
that you did, like from the demo, 7-inch.
Yes, okay. See, my problem is there's always tracks that I'm just like, I gotta skip over these, and it's always usually like the 2 or 3 before the last track. It's like, to make it a half hour, we got to do this song. I don't like that song. We got to put it in anyway. But I don't know. I think my favorites go from Death to Tyrants. I like, but then it bounces back and forth between Scratch and Just Look Around. Yeah. I love Yours Truly, though. When we did that record, I said to everybody, first of all, the ugliest cover in the world. But I said to everybody, we tuned down for like 2 songs. I was like, we should tune down for the whole album. But Craig didn't want to. He was like, nah, then we'll sound like everybody's copying Hatebreed. We don't want to do that. But it was funny when that album came out. I remember Hatebreed was breaking big, and they asked Jamie, what's his favorite? He goes, "Oh, I love that new Sick of It All." And I thought it was great that he said that. He loved our fucking,
Oh yeah, he always loved you guys, man. He was always a fan at the office.
Hey, he used my lyrics from Just Look Around on some song.
Yeah.
You owe me money, you mother.
Yeah. Yo, Lou, one of the other funny things, just like, again, you've had such a storied career, so this one's just a random thing that I just want to ask you about your memory about being in the Civ video. I just heard Walter on a podcast talking about that video coming together, and you have such a great little role in that. Tell us what you remember and kind of just, quick about that.
Well, I remember going to Don Fury's when they were recording
Shout out,
the Civ stuff, and Walter said, "Hey, can you come and do something on it?" I was like, all right, cool. And then he told me the line, and I went and I did it. And I go, I think it was only one take, because I remember going, "Is that good?" He goes, "That was perfect." I was like, all right. And then they said they were doing the video. And at that time, we had just had we were after the Biohazard tour. We had that huge riot in Arizona.
Oh my God!
Do you remember? Wait, let me sidetrack to the riot where everybody's holding, these Nazis get pushed out. Yes, and Jerry's like I remember it as Jerry being on a pool table, and he's holding like a plastic beer pitcher, and the bouncer's holding all these Nazis in the doorway. He's going, "Get out of here, get out of here!" And Jerry's standing there all nervous, and his head goes, "Hit him!" So Jerry throws a plastic beer pitcher, and it goes like, it's just dead science here. And the bouncer goes, "Fuck this," and he lets all the Nazis run it.
Sepultura is there, remember?
Yeah. They got Pete out. They remember the cops like, "The guitarist started it," so they snuck Pete out. But what was the
we were talking about
the noise.
It was like so great because it was dead silence. It was like a full-on movie bar fight, and all of a sudden it was dead silence here.
Like a cartoon. No,
yeah,
we were just talking about. You were saying you had gone into Don Fury's to record the one part in one line,
so
and they're going to do the video.
They wanted me to do the video. They said it was going to be a talk show, and I go, "How about we do it where I'm live from Arizona State Penitentiary because of the riot?"
Yeah,
we were actually.
Oh, I never knew that. That makes sense. I never knew that was.
We were banned from Arizona for like a year. They said there was a warrant out for Pete's arrest, and I think the whole band or whatever. So we didn't play Arizona for a year. And so we, as a joke, say, and if you look, it says live from Arizona State.
Yeah, I never put the connection together, so that's funny, man. Because like I said, Walter was on I think it was Axe to Grind, and they were talking about that video, and they mentioned you and kind of a little bit about behind the scenes.
Armand's in the video as the abusive husband or whatever. There's a fun. I know it's like the only versions I see now are really blurry on YouTube, but there's a scene. I forget what part of the song, but they're panning the crowd. And if you look at they're all in bleachers.
Yeah.
Me and Armand and I forget who else were sitting behind the bleachers. Behind Devil was at the top and the back. Our friend Devil.
Shout out to Devil.
It's in the video. Armand found a milk crate right near us, and he goes, "Watch this." And he just throws it over his head. It lands on Devil. But you have to look at the back of the crowd. It's in the video. It's so small, but it's like it's way in the back. You just see this milk crate.
It's like the Wizard of Oz, the Mystic hanging himself.
Yeah.
Yo, that's great, man.
You gotta look.
No, I never put the two and two together. So that's a funny little tidbit here. So, Lou, what else have you guys been working on? What's next for Sick of It All now? Are we hearing any shows back or?
That's the thing. It's like we just started talking about doing a Patreon and we came with all this shit where not just recording like, okay, here we are playing these songs, but we're going to do stuff where like, I don't know about the tiers and all that shit, but they were saying like, oh, if you pay this much, you can, and I was like, all right, if you're going to do shit like that, then if they pay X amount of dollars a month, they get to request songs, like, hey, record this one. Like people request the worst shit, the songs you'd hate,
It'd be cool too. But
then all of a sudden they're trying to open shit up again. But anyway, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it'd be a cool tier for Sick of It All would be just because you guys have so much footage. It's like after a certain one, you release like one of the videos or something classic that hasn't been online in a long time. Yeah, because that would be cool. Just as a fan, you guys have so much good stuff, man.
Finding this shit is hard though. I mean, some of the stuff like even on our own YouTube page and our sickofitall.com, there's videos missing that we can't even find. The only version of Scratch the Surface I can find is on YouTube. There's no like clear-cut video,
Well, how about when you guys gonna do the documentary?
Whatever happened to that home? What about the home video?
What's up with that?
What, that old one?
Yeah, would that ever come back out?
It was done. The old one was released as a bonus DVD on, I forget which, like a deluxe CD version. Yeah. We got Fat gave it to Century Media. Fat Records did the documentary. They gave it to Century Media. We released it on DVD. But I don't know about a new one. You know, it's like, who buys?
I don't know about a new one.
Yeah.
I would love to just see you guys like now.
If we had we got to find the footage, the old footage. So if we do, like I'm talking to real footage, like some of the stuff when you were on tour with us, Richie has a bunch of stuff. I don't know from where, but you know, that would be good because then if we did a new documentary to see the contrast and all that shit.
But well, you guys, people don't know that you guys are like a well-oiled, greased machine. And
yeah, we appear that way. Yeah.
And people don't understand what it is to be in a band, and especially a band like when people see what we do. A lot of people be like, "Oh, a hardcore band, whatever." Like we don't get the respect of metal bands.
No, you don't.
We don't get respect. The EDM DJ gets more respect than
yeah. Well, they draw a hell lot more.
I'm saying,
if hardcore had only, you know, I understand, you know, it was very PC when, you know, and respected, that's cool. But if you could convince guys that like, hey, you could get laid if you liked hardcore, it'd be a lot bigger. A lot bigger. But speaking of, like, no respect is a story. I think I told it in the book too, but we did this, and it's the reason we left Fat Records. We were in Europe. We played the Full Force Festival, and and on this day it was Slayer, Ministry, Sick of It All, Anthrax. Anthrax went on before us, and we went on, and you know it was at our height in Germany, and we fucking killed. The whole place is just destroying it. Tom Araya is standing on stage with Ministry waiting to go on behind him. As we're walking off, you know, Ministry guy's like, "Oh," and Tom Araya goes, "How the fuck are they gonna go on after you?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" And you know, so we walk off stage, and Mark, he's our booking agent, and at that time our road manager, he goes, yeah, Mark M.A.D. He goes, "Hey, I was in the office, and I just happened to see they had like the lists of pay. He went to get paid for us, and he goes." The guy opened the book, goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Right under us is Anthrax, got paid way more than we did. A band that went on at fucking 3 PM, some metal band, not even big, got paid more than we did." So Mark goes, "Did you fucking see what they just did? Why are they this high up on the bill and you're giving them, you know, half the money of this band?" And he goes, "Yeah, they're a hardcore band. They don't expect to get paid."
That's fucked up.
Fucking brutal. You know?
I'm gonna have to talk to someone.
Well, the good thing is that Sick of It All has outlasted many people, and I will be there signing up for the Patreon. Man, I look forward to that, Lou. Well,
we'll see. We don't know if we're doing it yet because, like I said, they're bringing live shows back. I came up with some good concepts. You know, I told Armine and Craig could do a segment each month. You know, of beer. Armine could do beer. Craig could do, you know, his paranoia.
He could do his pizza thing.
His pizza. You know, he always says that their pizza group always disrespect him. I go, then you should do your solo pizza show. Or he could do his cooking show. You know, he likes to cook.
Solo pizza show.
Like, sit by himself eating pizza all day.
Well, whatever is next, man, I will definitely be there as a fan, man. So, Lou, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, dude, and giving us some time, man. Go ahead,
Hold on, I'm sorry. All I have to say that Queens is the Mecca of the world, and Sick of It All is from Queens. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. Look at the shit that came out of Queens. Not just, you know, jazz and hip hop, but fucking hardcore is like the best bands from Queens.
All the best bands. All the best bands.
That's true.
Yeah, man. Dude, so Lou, thank you once again, man. Everybody check out Sick of It All. I'm going to have a bunch of links for you guys to check out their merch. Be sure to support those guys. Obviously, one of the most important bands we've had in our history. So, dude, Lou, thank you again, man, for sharing your time with us and your stories, dude. Thank you so much. All right, guys, peace.
This is Danny Diablo, featuring Joe Fatal, Big Lito, Spanish people in control. Speak, baby, música cocaína.
You know what one love, kid.
You know it, one love, kid. Well, yeah, well it's me, Joe Fatal. I'm kinda temperamental, life never been so simple. Rapping on these instrumentals, not even a law to save you. Going toe to toe, shit gon' get fatal. Hit the block, see my man Maceo, blowing in dough through the windows. Bitches slide through past the Perico. I don't even sleep though. Hit a knock on your door, you better look through your peephole. Give gaps to my people, even though half of them, they all fucking illegal. No sequel, crossing borders with that Perico. One love, kid. I revolve around scientists. Yeah. You know it, one love, kid. Yeah, come on. Yeah. The Ghost Rider, man on fire. Spit the truth, the flames get higher. Pop the trunk, pump and dump. Speak reckless, eat applesauce for breakfast. Sick psycho, holding your rifles. Purple rain, I'm homicidal. Feel the pain, unorthodox style. Go against the grain, going buck wild. Drinking, fucking, sniffing blow. Fuck your bitch, crack your skull. It's Diablo, baby, pass the joint. Barrel to your dome, get the point. Ha! You know what, one love, kid. I revolve around scientists. You know what, one love, kid. For real. Check it out. Shit never changes, but the shit we facing. Living life, but these niggas always stay hating. I'm running around the town, coke out the basement. DA trying to build these cases. Case open, no statements. Just living with no exception. When it go down, we moving so reckless. Tech under her dresses. I'm kinda stressed, body feeling so restless. No intermission, I'm like a jumbo jet just fueling. Who's fooling? Cause we not playing, we abusing. All you simple-minded, we been so foolish. You know. Next up is Danny Diablo featuring Tony Slippers, Script Keeper, and me, DJ Kaz. This one is called Keep Your Distance. Long Island, stand up.